What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella. We back with the Boxing Clean once again. I was going to wait till tomorrow to do a reaction or review video for a few fights, but I guess later today, matter of fact. But I guess I'll get on the hump real quick, knock some of these reaction/review fights out real quick. Badou Jack, man, super impressive. I think he got knocked out by Derek Edwards a few years ago. A lot of naysayers and fans wrote him off, saying that Money Team roster, the Mayweather Promotions roster, was trash. It was shitty. Especially after Badou Jack got knocked out by Derek Edwards. Jalen Love, got knocked out by Porky Medina not too long after, I believe. They suspended some fighters for smoking some weed. Luis Arias Cuba, he was one of those fighters suspended for smoking weed. And you look at it now. Badou Jack is one of the best, fighters in the world, in my opinion. Luis Cuba Arias is one of the rising stars in the middleweight division with Top Rank, with Rock Nation, I believe. So it's funny how, times change and, people's opinions, changes as well. But Badou Jack did what I thought he was going to do. Broke down Nathan Cleverly. Nathan Cleverly had never been nothing special to me. I remember before the Kovalev fight, my boy Stuart Little, if you watch the Boxing Voice, used to be on there making, standing up for all the Euro fighters. That's still the homie. Ain't heard from him in a while though, but he used to say Cleverly was the goods, had an iron chin, was taking some big punches. I think he said he was at Wild Card Gym training, and he had a granite chin. He was speaking, he was talking this guy up. He did get knocked out by Kovalev. Impressive. Built his career back up. Got a regular WBA title versus the German guy, Urish Booman, whatever his name is. He actually moved down a weight class. And he's going to be in the World Super Boxing Series tournament, super middleweight division. But, Badou Jack was a surgeon in there. And Carl Froch was, I was watching the Sky Sports broadcast on that fight. And he was definitely in love with Badou Jack's style. He said he improves every time I see him. He's not lying. Badou Jack is just a fundamental technical marvel, man. He's technically sound, good solid defense, good solid offense. He's a good solid fighter all the way around. Keeps his chin tucked at all times for the most part since he got knocked out. He was working Nathan Cleverly up and down. The jab was working. He was going around Nathan Cleverly's high guard. He just beat the dog piss out of him. And one thing I noticed, he looked significantly smaller in the ring with Nathan Cleverly. Nathan Cleverly looked like a big, strong light heavyweight. And he basically beat that dude down to a pulp in 5 rounds. And, he did. If he can grow into that weight class, man, that'd be great for him, man. He can just grow in, rehydrate, get a little bit more stronger there. Next time out, that'd be great. Nathan Cleverly showed nothing but heart early on. Badou Jack busted that nose, and he kept fighting like a valiant warrior. And definitely see what he chooses to do. Would he choose to move up to cruiserweight, or would he do something else? Or he retire? It is what it is. But Jack did his thing, man. It's time to put some respect on Badou Jack's name. A lot of the guys didn't want to give it to him, even after the Anthony Durrell fight, even after the George Groves fight, even after the DeGale fight where I thought he won. And people know me, James DeGale is one of my favorite fighters. I was talking him up, even before he fought Andre Durrell, man. I've been following him for a long time. And, with the shoulder injury, kind of explained some things for DeGale. DeGale said, I think he said he got a few more fights and he's out, out the game. I mean, he's done well with his money. And Badou Jack, let's see what happens. Andre Ward could be in his future. I think that's a few grades above him, but you never know what can happen. Adonis Stevens, that'd be a good fight for him. If he could take that power, he definitely can give Stevens some problems. I think Badou Jack is one of those guys that's not going to let a one-handed fighter beat him. I think his team's smart enough, even without Eddie Muhammad, who he broke up with, broke the trainer boxing coach relationship with over through a text, and kind of had me heated because Eddie Mustafa is one of the most respected trainers in the game and former fighter. So, you got to do that man to man. But Badou Jack is, he on the up and up. Him and Stevenson be a good fight. He got to defend his title versus Demetrius Bevell. Young Russian fighter that's very, very good. Only 11 fights. But that's another solid test for Badou Jack, and that's a good fight right there. Him and Demetrius Bivol. He's one of those rising stars who I think is better than Anthony Yarde at this point, but only time will tell. Shout out to Badou Jack once again. What else can he do? I mean, if Demetrius Bivol don't want to fight now, maybe Marcus Brown, but we gone.